Hello.
Hello.
So today I thought maybe we should talk about different kinds of ways to increase your income.
My income?
Yes, your income.
Fantastic.
Or anybody listening.
Sounds great to me.
Yeah, why not?
Especially now.
So,
You seen the price of eggs? Good heavens.
Boy, everybody's talking about it so much.
I know.
It is something. As you start a conversation about eggs, everybody really wants to talk about it.
Bring them inside. Give them the bedroom.
Yeah.
They're golden layers.
So some of the stuff we wanted to talk about is there's, in order to make it so that you have more money at home, you can save money, but you're limited into being how much money it is you're actually bringing in. So the best way to increase the amount of money in your home is to just increase your incoming, money.
The money coming in.
The money coming in.
Yeah.
So one of the first ways we were thinking of is that you can ask for a raise at your current job. A lot of with the inflation, a lot of jobs are already increasing wages. And so if you ask for a raise at your current job, if they won't give it to you, you can likely switch jobs.
Yeah, but you got to be prepared to do that.
Yeah, you got to be prepared to do that.
When you walk in there, you can't just go, if you say, look, I need a raise or I got to leave, you got to be willing to follow through.
Yeah. So,
or, just kidding afterwards kind of is weird.
And it would be good if you have the information. So if you can say, at XYZ company, I could go there and I could make this much, if you have that information ready, not just kind of a arbitrary, I'd like to make this much more money just because. Some kind of evidence that proves that you should be making more money, maybe even evidence about different kinds of ways that you've been valuable to the company, as well as that the skills and the education and the knowledge and experience that you bring to this position are
remind
worth
them
more.
What they'd be losing if they didn't have you.
Yeah. So then also you can maybe leave your job, or maybe if you're already one of those people who've already quit, you can start a business. Oftentimes, if you start a business, like a regular brick and mortar type business, it's going to take 60 or 80 hours a week, maybe more, for you to run this business, but it would be yours. You'd be, your own boss. You'd get to choose
everything.
You're your own everything.
So be prepared to work really hard, long hours. But if you do that and you're successful, it could pay off in the end. But it's going to be, that isn't going to immediately increase your income by any means.
Yeah,
that's more long term. So if you could do something like work your current job and start a business on the side that you could do in maybe off time. Would be best, so you could build that up over time to increase your income.
And then if you make enough money on your side hustle, your side business, to be able to quit your current job, then that's when you'd want to go ahead and consider maybe quitting your job if you wanted to. But you'd want to kind of build up your side business, your side hustle more to make it so that you're making enough before you decide to suddenly quit your
you just make $500 and, it might be exciting. It is very exciting, but it's no reason to quit your full-time job. It isn't going to cover the bills. So take it as a win, but keep building and take that time to get to what you currently make and more before you jump. I mean, really, look at, your finances better than anyone else, but don't jump too early.
Yeah.
Because, doing your own business is hard work.
Truly. Yeah. And I don't even know, like we've normally done them as side businesses. Like when we were running rentals before, it wasn't enough money to replace our income. So we kept working and just used it as some side money coming in.
Yeah. And it worked very well. It was great.
Well. Yeah. So if you're interested in renting, some people have an extra room or a camper or some extra space that they can rent out to people. And that works really well. That's a way. There are different kinds of sites you can use online to rent out your extra space for people who just want to stay a night or a few nights at a time.
Yeah, I know a person who's renting out their camper when they're not using it. They rent it out. People, go camping in their camper for a weekend or whatever. and they get some, so when it's not in use, instead of it just sitting there not making any money, it makes some money.
I know that there's this lady that I used to know that she would rent out her home, and when the people were coming to rent her home, she would just stay with her in-laws. And so you'd have
to like your in-laws.
You'd have to like your in-laws, but you could rent out your current living space for some extra money for somebody who maybe wants to stay there just a few nights, and then just make some extra money every so often.
My grandmother for years rented out her basement.
Yeah,
and she lived in 2 different homes throughout the years. One, they shared, kind of the kitchen area, and then the renter would rent the basement out. And then the second home she had that she ended up going to had its own kitchenette down below. And so they didn't really, and it had its own entrance and exit as well. So, but still, she was really good friends with her, ended up being, and they rented out from her for years. And she just supplemented her income doing that.
And there are a lot of spaces I know they're getting overcrowded. Like the city we live in is really overcrowded, and they're really looking for lots of rentals. If you live in one of those places, that would be a great opportunity for you to be able to rent out some extra rooms to maybe some people who maybe can't get a place yet because it's just so crowded. They're still trying to build a lot of houses in a lot of cities like ours, and just don't have a place to get into yet.
Yeah, buildings going on everywhere here still, and they still don't have enough.
Yeah, we were talking about that you could also teach something if you're an expert in something like public speaking, or
even the old school crocheting.
Yes.
Is now becoming popular. People want to learn that. Now that's a skill. My grandmother, I would go to her house and she was always crocheting something. I know your grandmother did a thing called tatting.
She would do tatting.
Which is something I hadn't heard of until her, but it's an old skill. Those skills, a lot of the new generations don't know how to do it. And if you do, that'd be something, even basic like sewing, how to sew, seal up a hole.
Yeah, some of it's been as people have been having troubles with getting things in the store that they've maybe needed to repair what they already have in order to be able to get from A to B. And so knitting, crocheting, sewing, those are real life skills that people are really feeling like they probably ought to.
But anything, if you anything that you figure other people may want to know, that you have that knowledge that you could teach, you could offer a course and do that. Whether it be just one-on-one or whatever. You were talking about something about possibly one of the local colleges allowing.
Yeah, they're teaching how to frost cakes.
Yeah, how to frost cakes.
Cook meat.
Which we need to look into that a little more, because it sounded like they were allowing people to almost like borrow one of their rooms to do that kind of stuff in, which would be awesome because you could really, you could get a full-size class of people. So
you might check with your local college and see if they're offering something like that where you can borrow their room and you can teach a course. And if you can't find it there at a local college, there are a lot of different online sites you could check into to teach that course online. Yeah. You can teach just anything that you might know how to do. Plumbing.
And any place that has like extra rooms sitting aside, ask them. They may let you borrow their room, rent it out, and you could teach a course out of that. Maybe on their, you should work it out with them. It may be on off hours or whatever, but courses typically are a little different than your 9 to 5 or.
Yeah. So some of the other ways that you can make a side income is you could do some network marketing, where maybe you replace some of the items you're currently buying from Walmart with something that the company offers.
And those are the
then
best
you can share that with others.
Yeah, those are the best ones I feel, is if you could replace just stuff you're already buying so it doesn't cost you more.
Yeah.
And maybe even possibly save you money. And at the same time, you could then help others do the same thing, which in network marketing would allow you to earn some income. We personally know several people in different network marketings. They're not in the same, actually, but they're in different ones who make a very good income that replace their own income.
Yeah.
And it wasn't overnight.
No.
It's not easy. They work
It'll be a little
their
bit at a
butts
time.
off. Yeah. But it was the stuff that seemed to work was ones that they were buying anyway. They found it somewhere else, either cheaper, same price, but better quality as well.
Yeah, and better quality being something that you buy now, it lasts a much longer time. something more concentrated, or just
overall a better product,
quality product that lasts
better,
longer. So you end up
product
spending
for
less,
your money.
spending less over time because you're getting this higher quality item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those tend to work real well.
There's also affiliated marketing, which is kind of related to this other thing we were thinking about, that if you can get you can have a blog, or you can create a YouTube group of people that have similar likes and dislikes and things that they're interested in and things that they're not interested in, then you can tell these people about different items that you have enjoyed at something like Amazon or another company that sponsors you, and you can get a commission off of everything that you suggest to these people that have similar likes to yourself. And that's a way to build up a side income.
Yeah, you've probably seen that, especially on YouTube. You see affiliate marketing all the time.
Yeah.
They work, obviously, pretty good.
Yeah, and it's a way that you don't have to feel like you're going to have to be a YouTuber with billions of people who watch your videos. It's just getting a good group of people that come to watch your videos regularly, who are interested in the same thing you are, that are interested in the same thing as each other, that are really interested in the specific products that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Some other stuff that's really good is if you are creative, you can sell your art, you can sell your photographs. We used to know somebody who would sell his art to local tattoo shops.
Oh, yes.
Is that if you know a local place where you could sell it, you could do that, or you could find a place online. There's lots of places you could find who are interested in buying art that they could maybe digitally display.
Yeah, he would actually, because we worked a night shift together. So when times were low on the night shift, because we were in nursing, he would pull out his sketch pad and sketch some stuff down and then go and sell it. So he was actually making money on top of making money. So it was kind of
so he's making money
while he was already getting paid.
He makes while he's being paid to make that art. It's funny.
Worked out well for him.
You can do a side run like Uber Eats or Uber driving or DoorDash. I know a few people who use that as a side income, and when you're focused on it and when you pay attention to it, you can make a pretty good side income doing that. Especially some people just like to use it when they're on their way anyway, when they're already at the restaurant.
Yeah.
And they just
they
on the way anyway, so they just collect things. Yeah. And you can also find things for free or low cost by going to free places on Craigslist or other free sites. Or going to thrift stores Facebook, for something really low price.
You often
Marketplace.
Find come get it free. First come, first serve. So again, you got to be watching it regularly because people do go and pick that stuff up quite quick.
Yeah, and in the springtime, people probably start having their garage sales. Yeah. If you catch a garage sale near the end, you might find people who are just willing to just kind of send it off.
Yeah, or send it off free or super cheap because they don't want it anyway.
Yeah, I know when we were having a garage sale, we had somebody that just swung by and said, if you have anything left, just let me know and I'll just pick it all up for you so that you can just get that stuff gone, because that was really the point in having that garage sale.
Yeah.
And when you pick up these items, you can get them, you can resell them. There are a lot of different good reselling sites.
Especially if you have the storage for it, because a lot of times this stuff isn't going to sell super fast, but it's still good, so it will sell over time. And so if you have the storage for it, you can then take pictures, whatever, post it, and just sit and wait and see. And that way you also have time to play with price.
Yeah.
And so...
and if you have enough items posted, then you can just be selling items on a kind of regular throughout the month kind of basis. So that one's a good way to go. And I haven't actually checked this out yet, but I heard that you can trade books on Amazon, which is something I'd really be interested in seeing about. So if you've heard about that, or if you have information about Amazon's book trading, then let me know in the comments. I've heard you can trade books to Amazon and they'll give you Amazon gift cards for it. So that's something I'd be interested in hearing more about.
Yeah.
There's also places where you can sell your crafts. If you do know how to crochet or knit, there was a lady that I was working with. She was doing that double getting paid. While she was working on the phone, she would be crocheting, and she would she'd make hats and scarves and stuff like that, and she would sell them on Etsy. And so she was getting paid for the stuff she was making while she was working on the phones.
Yeah, we know a lady that used to do that. She's a bus driver, for children. So a school bus driver. Well, there's a lot of downtime, and in that downtime, she would crochet. I think she was doing hats or something at the time, and she sold a bunch. Remember that? That was a few years back.
Oh, must have been a few years back. I don't really remember that.
Yeah, she don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
She's often doing other things now, I guess.
So there's also, if you have extra space, but you don't feel like renting it to people who's going to sleep there, you could use it as storage space where you can just store things for people, which is also quite a need. With the shortage of housing I know that we're having in our area, then in between places, while they're having to stay with family, they can have their stuff stored in your storage area. And maybe it'll be a better deal for them. Maybe they'll feel more comfortable about having it there than having it in a storage facility. And so you can rent out your space that way. One of the ones I'm interested in trying too is writing an ebook. That one sounds, got to be.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty fun. I've just got to put some ideas together, and you don't have to make a very long book. A lot of ebooks, and really kind of a trend going right now is books just being shorter. People just don't have as much commitment to reading a book, and so a shorter book would sell better sometimes. And so it doesn't have to be a very long book that you come up with, and then you can just select that to be put together as an ebook, and much quicker process. And I think we do know somebody who's done an ebook before. Yeah. So I might have to ask him about how he did that. One of the things that you can do too is you can rent out items that you are not using all the time. Like if you have things that are for parties, like bounce houses or foosball tables or ping pong tables, or baby stuff. If you're in between babies, you maybe want the baby stuff back when you have the next baby, but maybe you're in between babies and don't need it right now.
That's a lot of babies.
Yeah. You could rent it out in the meantime so that other people can be using it instead of it just kind of sitting and gathering dust or such, and also getting you a little bit of side income. And one of the last things, actually, that was actually the last thing. So just renting out your items. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. I was thinking that there was something else we were thinking about that you could rent out, but I can't remember what it was.
I don't know what you could rent out.
Yeah, just something that you're not really using right now.
Because there was the eBay
The campers. We're thinking campers.
Oh, yeah, campers. But well, yeah, like we know someone who's doing that, who actually rents out their camper when they're not camping. Yeah.
Which, if you only use it for a particular, I mean, goodness, like some people use them a lot like the timeshares. And they only use it for maybe a week or two in the whole year. Yeah. Those are some expensive things, those campers sometimes. So it would be good to get some extra use out of it, get some side income from.
Yeah, I know a guy who just lives down the road from us who has this huge camper, massive camper, only uses it during hunting season. So it sets for the rest of the year. That's all it does. A lot of people would really be interested in using that in the summer. Yeah, in the summer, they would love it. It's a nice camper. It's got AC that he never uses because he hunts in the winter.
Yeah.
So I'm sure their heater works fine, but I mean, for summer camping, it would be great.
And there's so many even free camping sites. And just
especially
available camping sites around here. Yeah.
And probably elsewhere, just depending on where you're at.
Yeah. So if there's any other ideas that you could think of making side incomes or replacing your income, increasing your income, then go ahead and let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Also,
if we didn't talk about it.
If any of those you want us to talk more in depth about, let us know as well. We will be more than happy to do that.
Yeah. And thanks for joining us today.
Have a great day. Yeah.